I'm going to be making two more videos for this particular lesson. The first one is going to be focusing on rubbings and the insects' bodies. And I'm going to be looking at two different insects just to give you some ideas. Obviously, you are going to encourage the learners to adapt their different types of insects to create different textures that suit their insect. So let's have a look, first of all, at a body of a dragonfly. What I did is I first went ahead and I tested my rubbings. So I gathered all sorts of things together and I tried them out, and I came up with a variety of different textures that I liked, and that way I got an idea of what I want for my particular dragonfly. The body is pre-drawn. I'm going to suggest that you encourage the learners to make the lines very light. I've made mine darker just for the video's purposes. The exercise is focusing on texture, not line. So the line should be just supportive rather than prominent. And I'm going to choose this belt here for the body of the dragonfly. Basically putting the dragonfly under there. Dragonflies have got really beautiful, colorful bodies. So this particular dragonfly, in fact, I'm going to do his body, I've just decided right now, I'm going to do it half purple and half blue because they often have those kind of shimmery metallic bodies as they're flying over the water. And then I'm going to choose a lovely, let's see, which way is that going to go? A lovely green for the thorax. So remember, we're going to cut them out. It doesn't really matter if you go over the lines. There's my green. And then the eyes are often faceted. So I'm going to use this interesting piece of card. I don't know what it was originally used for the eyes. And possibly I'm going to do those in purple as well. So there I have my dragonfly, and the next step is to use the wax resist technique. So I could have actually used any color, but in a nutshell, I'm going to paint over the body and the wax will show up to create beautiful textures. I'm going to keep the thorax all green. Nevertheless, you can still see the texture coming through. So with wax resist, you can use different colors or you can use the same colors. But just remind the learners to just paint over the wax that it will stand through. Otherwise, they try to paint in between the lines. So there I have the body of my dragonfly ready to be cut out, and we are going to embellish them later. The other insect that I'm going to just start with is the idea of a bee, and choosing something completely different like a tile. And I know this tile, I've worked with it many times before and I like the texture. So for me it shows something that could be furry or fluffy. And that's what I'm going to encourage in the different areas. I'm going to keep the eyes black and once again create that faceted look. Now, keeping in mind that if the learners don't have items for rubbing, if they've forgotten them or can't find them, you can always do techniques by drawing in the wax and painting over with the food coloring, and you'll also get beautiful techniques. So obviously any of these lines could have been drawn. I'm just using the rubbings to create something spontaneous. Okay, so there you got your bee. I would then take my black or grey. So I'm actually using a black teddy dye for this. And I'm going to darken it a little bit as I go along here. It's a little bit lighter than what I wanted. But this gives you an idea of how rubbings and wax resist can create some very exciting, unexpected techniques. Now, I would actually, under normal circumstances, just leave this to dry before I do the yellow, because if I go and do the yellow now, and this is what you've got to encourage the learners, if I go and do the yellow now, it's going to run into the black. So there I've done the face. I'd probably come back and do the eyes again to distinguish between the head and the eyes. And I'm just going to give an idea of the yellow without letting it touch so that it's not going to run. Okay, so here you have some ideas as a start for a bee and for a dragonfly, and of course later they may want to go back and draw into it a little bit to get some kind of, to encourage form. Maybe there's certain things that need a little bit of line. But this gives you an idea of how to start. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to meet you back here and we're going to tackle wings in the next video.